we're going to switch here to the second headline we have, and that's some MVP talk. We talked about earlier, Nikola Jokic, probably the favorite right now, but Embiid's came back. He's putting up huge numbers on a 2 seed in the East. And then we have Curry now, who's kind of creeping into this top 3. He's at a historic April, 5 games of 40 or more points in a month. That's more than anyone has ever done before. And so he's up to 31 on the season now. Do you guys think that this kind of late season push by Curry is going to be enough to get him this conversation? Or is it kind of a foregone conclusion, give it to Nikola Jokic?
Jimmy, this is interesting because the 3 horses in the race, if you would, Jokic and Embiid, a center hasn't won since Shaq back in the early 2000s when they were on their way to three-peating there in Los Angeles. And for Steph Curry, when you think about the back-to-back MVPs he won, the unanimous MVP, a lot of people didn't think it should have been unanimous, that he wasn't supposed to be the guy to get that. Michael Jordan didn't get that, the likes of Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. So I think for those 2 MVP seasons, I think Steph, there's a little bit of resentment from fans outside of Golden State and outside of the Bay Area where they were like, well, Steph Curry's just riding the wave of this juggernaut that the Warriors are building. But this year is so different because, Jimmy, they've needed every single point, every single 3-point shot, every single half-court heave that Steph has done, all these amazing things. The Warriors have needed every single bit of it. With Klay out, James Wiseman is out too. He had a knee injury, and Draymond, he's not giving you anything points-wise. I mean, he's having a great statistical season as far as rebounds and assists. I mean, he had, I believe, was 19 or 20 assists the other night. So I think for Steph Curry this year, if you wanted to tell me, Andrew, Steph Curry should be the MVP, and this is why, and you gave me all of these facts, I mean, I'd be hard-pressed to not agree with you and say, hey, you know what? Steph Curry's having the best age 33 season offensively than anybody we've ever seen, better than Kobe, better than MJ. So, Jimmy, to me, what Steph has been able to do, I think the MVP award is so weird because I'm in agreement that it's a difference between MVP and the best player on the best team. If we're talking about who's the most valuable player to his team right now, Jimmy, it's got to be Steph Curry.
Yeah, you could say that. And the funny thing is, I think this really underscores an important point, which is that sometimes you will hear some of the old heads talk about how the game's played today and how we did this differently in my day, and this is why it was better. This is probably the best we've ever seen basketball played, just in general, right? Like, we're talking about Steph Curry having an unreal season, and he's not the favorite for MVP at this point. And the way I look at it, as I think about it, is, look, Steph Curry is dragging the Golden State Warriors towards the playoffs right now. Unbelievable stuff. The way he's scoring, the way he's shooting, unbelievable. To me, it's clear cut that right now the favorite is Nikola Jokic. I mean, this guy, he has the highest PER and win shares and all this other stuff. Like, he's been really valuable.
Hasn't missed a game this season.
Hasn't missed a game on a team that has not been healthy at all. Jamal Murray tore his ACL. Will Barton's out now. They haven't had much Gary Harris this season. Like, they have not had a healthy comportment of guys, except for him. He's been there the whole year. And it's the way he plays the game, too. Like, you were referencing Shaq, Andrew. I didn't see Shaq setting up the offense from the top of the key and, setting up guys in the corner and driving in the paint. No offense to Shaq. He just wasn't doing that. So, to me, it's Nikola Jokic. Joel Embiid would have a case if he played more games, but he missed, 14 games earlier in the season or something like that. So, to me, it's Nikola Jokic. But there's so many unbelievable individual performances in the NBA right now that I'm very careful to sit there and go, my pick is Jokic, but I'm not going to slight Steph Curry. The year he's having is unbelievable. He's playing the best basketball of his career. It's just that there are so many unbelievable individual performances around the league that I would give the edge to Jokic right now. And I think it's more or less settled unless something happens in the next 12 or 13 games as we head to the playoffs. But yeah, just incredible stuff that we're seeing from all these guys in the NBA.
Yeah, the reason that I'm going to go Jokic too, one, Embiid, he missed 18 games already this year, as he talked about. Just too many to miss, especially when you have a condensed 72-game season. That really hurts there. And Curry, this team's 30-30, and they've needed all 31 points per game to even get to 30-30. But I think that the way people vote isn't always who is the most valuable, it's kind of just the best stats award. And that is Jokic this year. So if we're going to define the MVP as you need every point, you are valuable, it's obviously Curry. He's number 2 in plus minus. They're the worst team in basketball when he's off the floor. But that's not how they vote. They vote on the numbers. And Jokic has the numbers, hasn't missed a game. His team's awesome. So I'm in agreement. I think it's Jokic. But yeah, these guys are having amazing seasons. And it is crazy because we're used to the MVP maybe like 5-10 years ago. They give you 25, 5, and 5. Now it's 30, 11, 26, 11, and 8. It's just crazy to see the way the game's changed. But I will go Jokic as well. I think it is his award unless something drastic happens, late in the year.
No, it's certainly been an unprecedented type of season in terms of injuries and guys like LeBron, Donovan Mitchell, KD, James Harden, guys who are supposed to be in that MVP race. And we all thought the race was going to be contested and heated, but injuries have really cooled that down. And now, it's really 3 people in terms of Embiid, Jokic, and Steph. And it's really just what's your specific taste and what will you argue for and against? But at this point, with what Jokic has been able to do and availability being the best ability and averaging 8 assists as a big, Shaq averaged, I think, a little under 4 in his MVP season, something that we didn't see 20, 25 years ago. The big man has certainly changed in the NBA, and down the stretch here coming into the finish line, it's going to be interesting as to who can get that final leg up and cross the finish line.